What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage. So I was gonna work on the fenders this morning, but I actually last night when I got off of work actually cleaned up this motor and took a couple pictures and posted it up on Marketplace. And well, little do you know, somebody wants to come buy it today. So I got to start pulling this motor out. I believe I have everything I need to get it out. The only problem I'm probably gonna have is getting the motor actually out of the car. So I'm gonna attempt to just drop it on the ground and then lift the car up around it and then slide the motor out. I don't want to have to cut the radiator support or anything like that. If I have to, I will, and I'll just get a traction bar that goes across when we do the K-swap. But I'll probably put you guys on a time lapse for most of it because I do just want to knock this out as fast as I can so I can work on my fenders today. So I just got a little background show going, and I'm gonna get to work. All right, guys, so I got everything pulled off the motor, everything except I got to pull the fuel line off. I just haven't done this yet because I don't want gas smell all in my house until I'm ready to actually drop it. So yeah, everything's off. I was getting ready to pull out the CV axles, and I noticed this car's got two keys on it, and I do not have that, or lock lug nuts, you know what I'm saying? This side, it looks like I can take off, but the other side, I gotta find somebody that has that, or I gotta put some vice grips or something. I gotta figure out a way to get these off. Hammer on an old socket, something like that. So give me a minute while I figure out how to get that off. So we ended up getting the motor dropped out of here. I just put it on my jack and then lowered it down and let it just lay on the floor. And then I had to lift the car up a little bit, and then we came right out of that hole right there. So we just slid it right out. So I had to remove like the whole front end, like the front suspension and stuff like that. But it all came out perfect. Nothing got hung up. Oh, a little bit. I tried to save the AC because it still has Freon in here, and I didn't want that to fill up my house with the smell of that and the chemical. So it's still pressurized right now, and the condenser, or I mean the compressor was getting stuck on the motor. So that's the only part that got stuck a little bit. It gave me a little fight, but other than that, it came right out of there. So yeah, hopefully the guy comes to buy this, and that way we can pick up on our fenders. All right, so we got the fenders pulled out here, guys, and I got the hammer and dollies. So we're gonna attempt to start hammering out some of these dents. So this one's the worst one here. So we need to get all this out, get these dents out of here. We need to try to get this edge back straight. And then this is supposed to go straight down. It's not supposed to have this bump sticking out. So I need this to come straight down. Here comes a plane. All right, now the plane is gone. So you can see how this edge here is nice and straight. Straight there. So we need to do the same thing on that side. And then also this edge here is straight across. You can see here it's more rounded. So we need to bend this up, get this point back, and build this line, try to get this line hammered back out. So let's start getting to work. Oh, and I do also have these two small dents here. So I got this dent here and this dent here. So I'll take the fender off, and then we'll hammer and dolly these sections out just a little tiny bit because they're very, very little dents. I just didn't want to put body filler there if I knew I could hammer them out and then do like a skim coat of body filler or some high build primer. So yeah, but that's gonna be it. I'll put you guys on time lapse. We'll get to work. All right, guys, so we just got the dents fixed off of here. Let's see. So we were able to get this line back. I'm gonna have to do the rest with like a little bit of body filler here. But this big huge dent is gone. This big huge dent is gone. It's all flat now. I worked the edge and got the edge way better than it was to match this side here. Got this dent out. I can't feel it anymore. This was a little high spot. I hammered it down. Got that out, and then got this fixed also. So all the dents feel good now. And so now we can go through and I'm going to put a little bit of body filler on and let it sit and dry, and then we'll come back and start shaping everything. So we got our Bondo here. Pop that open. Mix it up well. Get all of this mixed up thoroughly, because when it's been sitting on the shelf for a while, it like comes out of suspense of itself. So you gotta mix all the oils in there and get it all one uniform texture and color. So just mix it up however long it takes you. Scrape all the edges. Make sure there's no like dry spots in there. You want to mix it all up. And we're not gonna need a lot, guys, but I do want to have this mixed up well. Like how much is on the stick right there is probably as much as we need. So we'll just use that amount. Put the Bondo away. Alright, so that's about how much Bondo we're going to use. I'm just going to scrape that off the stick here with the Bondo spreader. Alright guys, so there's our Bondo. We'll get a little bit of hardener here. Not a lot, just enough. Because we don't want it to harden up too quick, so we want to be able to really shape it and get it nice and smooth. We're not trying to put a lot on there. Here comes a plane, so when the plane's here, we'll just mix this up. Alright, so you just want to fold it in. You don't want to mix it up, guys, because you'll make air pockets in there. So as I'm folding it in, I'm kind of pressing it down, trying to get all, any air pockets out of there. So just clean off your scraper. Get a small amount on there. And then start hitting these areas. that Bondo? Yep. All right, guys, so you just saw me add some Bondo on here, and then I went around where I just needed some high build primer. And I figured while I'm letting the Bondo dry, might as well let the primer dry too, and then we'll sand it all down at once. So all the low spots are now filled up on both fenders. I added a lot down here, that way I can shape it well, and the Bondo started drying up on me, so whatever. It's gonna come out smooth. Then I'm adding a lot here to get rid of any blotchiness that's here. I'm sanding it all down nice and flat and get those body lines back. Around the arch here, it had like a little low spot in the middle, so I really filled it up, so when we block it, it should be nice and flat. But after we block all this down, then I will die coat it again and then block it again, and then we'll see if there's any more low spots we need to address before we do the final primer on it. As soon as I went to record, the damn plane flies over. But all right, so we got this body worked roughly down with 80 grit, so just knock down all the high spots. It's pretty much shaped right now. See how there's little low spots here, like where the Bondo didn't lay down perfectly smooth, so I'm just gonna smooth that out with a little bit more Bondo. And I was able to get this shape back, so you can see the line here, the line coming across here, it comes across here, flat spot there, line on the bottom, and then goes down. So I just need to fill in all these little tiny little craters it's got here, all these pinholes and stuff, and then that will be good. After it dries, we'll sand it down again. This came out good. All these dents are gone now, so this fender is almost ready. So I'll hit this one with 220 now, and then I'll hit it with some more filler primer, and then guide coat, and then we'll block it and we'll see how good it is. And this one, we'll add the Bondo to it and sand that down, and then filler primer that and add the die coat to that also. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so I just got all the pinholes filled. Everything's super smooth now. I'm just gonna go over it all with 220, and then we'll hit it with some high build, and then we'll have to let that dry. And that might be the last bit that we can do today, because it looks like it's about to rain. So we'll see how far we can get. So I just covered up the areas that had the bare metal and the Bondo with a little bit of the sealer. So that way it can seal it all in and let no moisture get past it, because the filler primer, it sometimes can absorb stuff. So I want to make sure I sealed up everything so that way nothing touches the bare metal. So these are completely sealed up. There's no bare metal showing. Everything's covered. We'll let it dry for a couple more minutes, and then I'll go ahead and hit the whole entire thing with filler primer. Yeah, so it started raining halfway through my first coat on the second fender here. This fender, luckily it was already tacky, so the water drops are just kind of sitting there. Those will dry, no big deal, we got to sand it anyway. This one is as far as I was able to get. I didn't want to paint over water drops, so I have to leave this one until it at least stops raining, and then we can come back to it. Alright guys, so I'm about to finish off the video here. It's pouring down rain outside. I moved these in literally just in time before they got drenched. So that's how it's looking. Came out super smooth. Body work looks great. Hope you guys can see it on camera. Everything came out really good. Besides, right there we had a chemical reaction. So something was fighting each other right there. So I'm going to sand all that off and redo that one spot. But other than that, everything came out pretty good, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.